Did ancient humans have one partner? Let me put it this way. If you want to know how your ancestors loved, look between your legs. I'm serious. Your body is a fossil of ancient relationships. And once you see what's there, you'll never look at your own love life the same way. The Old Human, Episode 11. Did ancient humans have one partner? Here's the strangest fact you'll hear today. You can predict any species' relationship style by measuring one body part. Gorillas have tiny testes and live in harems. Chimps have massive testes and mate with everyone. Humans are right in the middle, and that middle ground tells you everything. Medium testes mean moderate sperm competition. Translation: your male ancestors mostly stuck with one partner, but things happened. This isn't a moral judgment, it's anatomy. Your body is a fossil of your ancestors' love lives. But the real clue is even weirder. Humans are the only primate that hides when females are fertile. Chimp females get a bright red swollen bottom, impossible to miss. Human females? Nothing. You can't tell, and that changes everything. If a male can't tell when a female is fertile, he can't just show up at the right moment and leave. The only winning strategy is to stick around, year-round. This is how pair bonds began, not because of love, but because of biology so sneaky you're still living with the consequences. Relationships don't fossilize, so how do we actually know any of this? 3 trails. The lovers of Valdoro. 2 skeletons buried together in Italy 6,000 years ago, arms and legs intertwined, facing each other. Someone loved these people enough to arrange their bones for eternity. But pair burials are extremely rare. At Shanidar Cave in Iraq, a Neanderthal was buried with flowers 60,000 years ago, the oldest evidence of grief. But most ancient humans were buried alone. Bones show us the exceptions, not the rule. Living hunter-gatherers fill the gap. The Kungsan, serial monogamy, partners change over a lifetime. The Hadza, mostly pairs with occasional polygyny. The Pahari of the Himalayas, fraternal polyandry, one woman marries multiple brothers. The Ache of Paraguay, serial monogamy with high turnover. Every system imaginable exists somewhere. Over 80% of human societies allow polygyny, but here's the twist. In those societies, most people are still in pairs because most men can't afford multiple wives. The ideal isn't the reality. DNA tells the story, bones can't. Ancient genomes show genes flowing between groups, not staying inside neat nuclear families. Paternity was more complicated than the storybooks say. Your ancestors' real mating superpower was flexibility, the ability to adapt their relationship structure to whatever the environment demanded. That flexibility is your inheritance. Let's get into your brain for a minute. 3 chemicals run your love life. Oxytocin, the cuddle drug released by touch. Vasopressin, the commitment chemical. Dopamine, the reward hit you get from seeing your partner's face. These predate humans by millions of years. Prairie voles mate for life. Montane voles don't. The difference? One gene, AVPR1A, that controls vasopressin receptors in the brain. You have that same gene. Some people are literally genetically wired for stronger pair bonds than others. Isn't that wild? Here's something funny. In most male mammals, sexual interest crashes after repeated mating with the same female. Scientists call this the Coolidge effect, named after an old joke about a rooster. But pair-bonded humans override it. Your brain's chemistry literally rewires to keep you interested in one person. The Coolidge effect is named after an actual event. President Calvin Coolidge and his wife were visiting a farm. Mrs. Coolidge saw a rooster mating constantly and said, "Tell the president about that rooster." The farmer told him. The president asked, "Same hen?" Farmer said, "No, different hen every time." Coolidge nodded and said, "Tell that to Mrs. Coolidge." Jealousy feels personal, but it's ancient. It evolved as a mate-guarding mechanism, protecting the bond that kept children alive. It's not pretty, but it served a purpose. Your jealousy has a 300,000-year-old job description. Knowing that doesn't make it go away, but it helps you understand what you're dealing with. Now let's talk about the single most important fact that shaped ancient relationships: childbirth. For 300,000 years, roughly 1 in 10 women died giving birth. Today, it's about 1 in 5,000. 10% chance of dying every time you give birth. You need a partner who will stay. You need grandmothers who will step in if you don't make it. Female mate choice wasn't a romantic preference. It was a life or death calculation. And here's what most people don't know. In hunter-gatherer societies, women provide up to 70% of daily calories through gathering. Men's hunting brings protein and status, but women's gathering keeps everyone alive. Economic power is social power. The Mosuo of China never adopted marriage. Women own property and choose partners freely. Children stay with the mother's family. Iroquois clan mothers selected and could remove chiefs. Among the Kongsan, women's foraging gives them equal voice in group decisions. Female agency isn't a modern invention. Women were selecting for partners who showed up, for men who would stay when things got hard, long before anyone wrote a wedding vow. But the couple was never alone. Behind every ancient pair bond was a grandmother. This is the grandmother hypothesis, proposed by anthropologist Kristen Hawkes. Menopause evolved so older women could raise grandchildren instead of having more of their own. Among the Hadza, grandmothers in their 60s and 70s collect more daily calories than the hunters. The meat gets the attention. The grandmothers kept everyone alive. Man, the hunter, is a myth. Grandmothers fed humanity. Modern nuclear family, just parents and children isolated in a house, is a historical freak accident. For 99% of human history, children were raised by a community. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, older cousins, everyone pitched in. If you feel overwhelmed as a parent, it's not you. You were never meant to do this with just one other person. Your ancestors had an entire tribe. You have a partner and a sink full of dishes. Someone in the comments section wrote, "Every relationship problem I've ever had is because I'm missing an entire village of support." And you know what? That's exactly it. Everything you've heard so far, the flexibility, the extended family, the female economic power, all of it changed about 10,000 years ago. Someone planted a seed, and relationships were never the same. Hunter-gatherers ate 200 to 300 different plant species a year. Early farmers ate mainly 3: wheat, rice, corn. Agriculture shrank the diet, and it did the same thing to relationship options. Agriculture invented private property, and private property invented the need to control female sexuality. A man who owned land needed to know, with absolute certainty, which children were his. Who inherits the land? Female fidelity became an economic requirement, not biology, not nature, economics. The rules you think are ancient are actually about inheritance, not love. The first written marriage contracts appear on Mesopotamian clay tablets about 4,000 years ago. They weren't love letters. They were legal documents about bride prices, dowries, and inheritance. Monogamy became the global legal norm, not because it's biologically natural, but because European colonial powers imposed their marriage laws on the rest of the world. Romantic love as the basis for marriage is about 200 years old. For most of recorded history, you married who your family told you to marry. Choosing your partner based on love is one of the most radical ideas in human history. There are ghost marriages, ceremonies where you marry someone who has already died, still practiced in parts of China and Sudan, preserving inheritance across death itself. This is what happens when marriage is property law, not love. 10,000 years of farming rules feels like forever, but it's only the last 3% of human existence. Your brain was shaped by the other 97%. You had questions about this one. Let me answer the ones that kept coming up. First question, is monogamy just a social construct? Partly. The capacity for pair bonding is biological. Those chemicals in your brain are real, but the rule that you must have exactly one partner for life, enforced by law and religion, that's cultural and fairly recent. Why do people cheat if we evolved to pair bond? Because your brain has competing systems. The same dopamine circuitry that bonds you to one person also responds to novelty. Evolution didn't design you to be perfect. It designed you to reproduce. Those two goals sometimes conflict. Do men and women want different things? On average, yes. Men lean slightly more toward short-term mating, women slightly more toward long-term. But the overlap is enormous. Individuals vary more than genders. Anyone who tells you all men are one way and all women another is selling you a story, not science. What about love? Is it real or just chemicals? It's both. The chemicals are real. The experience they create, the thing you feel, is also real. A sunset is just photons hitting your retina. That doesn't make it less beautiful. Love is real because your brain makes it real. Were ancient people happier in relationships? Happier is probably the wrong word. They were less lonely. They had more support but less freedom. They faced starvation together instead of arguing about whose turn it is to do the dishes. Different problems, not fewer. The most surprising thing I learned? Concealed ovulation. The fact that you can't tell when a human female is fertile, unlike every other primate, is the biological foundation of everything we call love. Think about that next time you're on a date. And the question you all kept asking, okay, but what did ancient humans actually eat? Bone marrow, insects, whatever they could grab before a hyena noticed. That's literally the next episode. The scoreboards. Ancient relationships, flexibility, 9 out of 10. Community support, 10 out of 10. Extended family, 10 out of 10. Pair bonding, 8 out of 10. Freedom of choice, 3 out of 10. Total, 40 out of 50. Modern relationships. Freedom of choice, 10 out of 10. Romantic love, 9 out of 10. Legal equality, 8 out of 10. Community support, 1 out of 10. Extended family, 1 out of 10. Total, 30 out of 60. We gained freedom and lost community. Here's the thing. You can't score a game you don't know you're playing. Most people have never experienced the village, so they don't know what they're missing. 3 things the old human teaches you about relationships. 1. There was never one natural way. Anyone selling you one correct way is selling ideology. 2. You were never meant to do relationships alone. If your relationship feels too hard, it might not be your relationship. It might be the absence of everyone else who was supposed to be there. 3. The rules changed 10,000 years ago, but your brain didn't. Your jealousy has a 300,000-year-old job description. Your need for support is ancient. Your craving for someone beside you in the dark, that's older than words. Put the baggage down. You're not confused about relationships because something is wrong with you. You're confused because you're running ancient software on modern hardware. You still want the tribe. You still need the grandmother. You still crave the connection that worked for 300,000 years. The tools are different now. The needs are the same. You need people. You need support. You need someone beside you in the dark. That hasn't changed, and it never will. They loved, they paired, they passed the fire. You are the fire they passed. Let's update the chalkboard. Alcohol, the molecule that built trust. Communication, the language before language. Relationships, who ancient humans chose to love. Next time, what did ancient humans actually eat? In the Museum of Ancient Relationships, the grandmother hypothesis, the love cocktail molecules, the lovers of Valdaro, the world marriage map, ghost marriages, the Coolidge effect rooster. These aren't artifacts. These are the foundations of every relationship you've ever had. Next time on The Old Human, what did ancient humans actually eat? Bone marrow, wild honey, rotting meat, and the calorie math that built the most expensive organ in nature. They loved, they paired, they raised children around fires. But what fueled it all? Bone marrow from mammoth kills, wild honey from treetops, the diet that built the human brain? That's next time. Subscribe for more on the mismatch between your ancient body and your modern world.